I'm going to cut up and prep some lamb for some lamb vindaloo in this episode of Let's Get Cooking. So here we go. All right, here I am again in my nightshirt. I was going to make the lamb vindaloo yesterday. We want to have some friends over for dinner. No one could make it yesterday, so this is Sunday, and we're going to have those same friends over tonight for dinner. So now I'm going to start preparing the lamb vindaloo. Missing a few ingredients. Arlene is out shopping for me. But in the meantime, yeah, my nightshirt. No, my hair isn't combed. It's morning. It's Sunday. Relax, right? Relax. Wash my hands. Oh, they're going to get messy anyways. And I'm going to add a bunch of spices, whatnot, for the lamb to marinate in. And I'm going to boil a little bit of water because one of the things I add to my lamb vindaloo is tamarind paste. Don't ask me. I don't know how you get this stuff, what it comes from. Somebody can enlighten us in the comment. Where does tamarind paste come from? You can get it in these blocks at, many grocery stores, or an Indian grocery store, East Indian. And I'm just going to cut off a little chunk of that, and you have to melt it. You have to melt it. So I'm starting that first. I've put it in some hot water. Let's just close up the rest of this. Tuck it away in a bag. Close that up. Get the air out of it. Okay. Spoon to press the tamarind so that it breaks up. It looks gross. I hate to tell you what it looks like. Tamarind gives it a kind of sourish, citrusy to me flavor. And I tell you that in yesterday's video where I made my garam masala, that to me spices are like notes. There's high notes, there's low notes, bass notes. Tamarind is one of those higher notes to me. Somewhat sweet, soury, not quite lemony, citrusy, but in that vein. So I still have the lamb shank and the lamb, I think that's a femur, that part, from yesterday. There's a hunk of meat I'm going to cut off of that. There we go. I'm going to set those aside. And here is my lamb. And I'm going to cut this. Everything's going to go into this bowl to marinate. I'm going to cut this in chunks. But again, I'm not a fat lover. So I'm looking for where the fat is, and I'm cutting a lot of that out. Can you see that? Let's see if I can zoom in better. Yeah. There we go. So I want my hunks. I want to have meat that you can sink your teeth into, but not all the fat. So that is going to go to the side. I'm going to cut through this hunk of meat. Take off a piece of fat. You can see that, right? Piece of fat there. See there, I don't know. Leg of lamb, it's strewn with hunks of fat. I'm just going to cut them off. So it takes time. But once you do that, you can cut this into nice hunks of meat. Oh my goodness. Now imagine getting that on your plate. It's a beautiful piece of meat. I'm just going to make it a little smaller. There we go. Into the bowl. Hunk of fat. Off it comes. It will, render out all that fat. But still, I'm doing my best. This is a beautiful, beautiful piece of muscle. And I'm going to cut it into strips. Just look at that. It's gorgeous. I love working with a leg of lamb, actually. And now we, you'll notice there are some spots where the meat naturally separates. So you can go with that and still cut beautiful chunks. We're going to have 2 other couples over for dinner tonight. And I asked them what their heat preference was. One said hot as hell, which is good. Let me see here. I want to be able to see you and talk with you. So one said hot as hell. 2 said mild, which is code for no heat. And someone said medium. Arlene and I are in the hot camp. So I'm going to cook the lamb without any heat. So I can do it all at once. Look at these beautiful pieces of meat. So I can do it all at once. And once it's done, I'm going to separate it into a few different pans and let it simmer in those different pans with different amounts of hot chili. So I'm trying to accommodate all of our friends. Isn't that nice? If you're going to have a dinner gathering, we used to call them parties. We still call them parties. If we're going to have a dinner gathering, this is the very end piece of the lamb, by the way, and it's loaded with fat and silver skin. There we go. But honestly, it's still going to be tender by the time we're through because I'm going to let it cook for quite a while. And you can just pull the pieces apart. Cut off the larger hunks of fat. And you've got beautiful, beautiful lamb there. So yeah, if you're going to have friends over for dinner, you're not just cooking for yourself anymore. So we always ask if anyone's coming here for dinner, any food allergies, any food preferences. It's not everyone likes everything. So, lamb. Not everyone likes lamb. It's a stronger flavored meat. And so you try to serve this to some people, and they will not be happy about it. I'll just put that in whole. Now this is a beautiful mussel. Taking off just a little piece of fat, but this mussel is gorgeous. Mind your fingers. If I've ever cut myself, I think it's been doing this. So I'm just going to cut through that mussel. It's beautiful meat. And cut through it again and make some beautiful chunks out of it. The fat on that end. Off it goes. There's nothing worse than eating meat and then having gristle in your mouth. So yeah, cater, if you will, to the tastes of your friends. Check out if they have allergies. Check out if they have particular preferences or aversions. Meat that was in there. Now, you know me, if you've been following my videos, I tidy as I go. So here I am washing this bowl. Like I said, Arlene is out getting a few ingredients. I needed ginger, garlic, onions. We had 2 cups of basmati rice left, which is more than enough for tonight's dinner, I think. But I asked her to get another bag because I don't like being out. I don't like being out of certain foods. So she's going to get that. This is a beautiful knife. The other day I mentioned picking up some knives off of Facebook Marketplace. So this says Zelite Infinity. You can look that up, Zelite. It's Japanese. I'm trying to read this. 45 layer steel, liquid nitrogen cooling. Anyways, it's just a strong, durable, fabulous kitchen knife. I like my knives. Nice and clean. Soap and water. Thanks for following along, by the way. All 6 of you? 7 of you? I don't know. If you're following, whether or not you even like the video, do me a favor. Hit like. Just so that I have some sense, is there anyone out there who's at least followed this far? This is the garam masala that I made yesterday. So I am sprinkling that in. And I don't know, that was maybe a teaspoonful. Here is the tamarind paste mushed up. I'm going to see if I can zero in on this. Let's see. It looks like brown water now that it's melted in there. And I'm going to add several teaspoons of that brown water. This is something you got to kind of, I don't know how to measure it. You got to get kind of used to working with it. So whenever you're trying to get used to working with something, start with a little. You can always add more. Okay? And remember, cooking has to be fun. For me, it has to be fun. it should be a pleasure. Now I'm going to add a little bit of oil to this as well. I'm able to mix all that in and around. I don't cook with much salt to be hopefully more heart healthy. So I'm going to leave that out for the time being. There is black pepper in the garam masala, so I'm not going to add that separately at this point. And I'm just mixing all of that together. Tamarind, the garam masala, and some oil. Oh, it already smells good. When I am ready to cook this, after Arlene gets back and I get some of my other spices, I'm going to include these bones in the frying pan so that I get the flavor out of them. All right, all of that into the bowl. It's going to marinate for a couple hours. When I come back, or maybe it'll be a separate video, I will be dressed. My hair will be coiffed. But remember, this is Sunday morning. You get to cook in as relaxed a fashion as you want, right? Because it's fun. Bye now.